All right, guys, you're welcome to another exciting problem. We are still solving problems on differentiation, and this is question 47. And now we want to learn how we can differentiate cos 3x squared minus 2x. But before we even get started, let me show you some basic stuff you need to have in mind before you start differentiating functions like this. Now, you already know that if you have y is equal to sine x, if you differentiate this function, if you differentiate sine x, you get cos x. I'm sure you all know this stuff. All right, this is quite very easy. So, but when we have y is equal to sine 2x, for instance, now how would you differentiate this function? Now, the first thing you want to do is to differentiate the inner function or the argument of sine x, which is 2x. So when you differentiate 2x, what do you get? You get 2. You want to write the 2 here. And now when you differentiate sine 2x, just like when you differentiate sine x, you get cos x. Now when you differentiate sine 2x, you're going to get cos 2x after you've already differentiated the inner function. Do you get it? So let me share another example. So if I have y equal to, let's say, sine 2x squared, for example. So to differentiate this function, the first you want to do is to differentiate the inner function or the argument of sine, which is the 2x squared. So when you differentiate 2x squared, what do you get? You get 4x. You want to write it here. And the next thing you differentiate this guy, sine 2x squared, that will give us cos 2x squared after you've already differentiated the inner function. So you see it, right? Perfect. Now it's the same thing when you're talking about cos x. You know, when you have y equals to cos x, right? If you differentiate cos x, what do you get? You get minus sine x. These are basic things you should have in mind. Okay, you should have all these stuffs in mind. So now you know when you have y equal to cos x, if you differentiate cos x, you don't just have sine x, you have negative sine x. So let's make it a little bit complex. If I have cos, let's say 2x for instance, and this time you want to differentiate cos 2x, what would you do? The first thing you want to do is to differentiate the argument, which is 2x. So when you differentiate 2x, you get 2. You write it here. And now when you differentiate cos 2x, you get negative sine 2x. So that will become negative sine 2x. I hope this is straightforward. So the take home here is you have to differentiate the inner function or the argument of the trigonometric function before you now differentiate the function as a whole. So now, with that understanding, let's come to this problem. So the first thing we want to do here, we want to differentiate the inner function, which is 3s squared minus 2s. If you differentiate 3s squared minus 2s, that is going to give us 6x minus 2. That's the first thing you want to do, right? And now you want to now differentiate cos of this function. So when you differentiate cos of this function, you're going to get negative sine of that function. So this is a negative right here, and we have sine 3x squared minus 2x. So this is the answer to this problem. So I want you to try this question. ddx of sine, let's say 2x squared minus 5x. So try this question and put your answer in the comment section. All right. Thank you very much for watching and see you in the next class. Bye-bye.